think it's a boy thing, Corey. Corey's along with sport. And the Crows, it's going from bad to worse.
It is another loss. That's 4 in a row. Their season is in disarray. Hi everyone, we'll have the wash-up of today's game after the break, including Neil Craig's thoughts on just where his side is going wrong. Port Adelaide has declared ruckman Dean Brogan a certain starter for tomorrow's clash with Geelong at Skilled Stadium. Brogan made it through today's training run in Geelong. Redback speedster Sean Tate has declared he'll be chasing the wicket of Andrew Symonds in tomorrow night's 2020 clash with Queensland at Adelaide Oval. Tate spared himself from today's optional training session. Despite a dogged first half, North Melbourne has been humbled by Sydney at Etihad Stadium. The Roos led by a point at the main break. Welcome back. Geelong has made a dazzling return to premiership form, thrashing Port Adelaide at Skilled Stadium. The margin was just 10 points at half-time.
Well, in just 15 minutes' time, international cricket returns to the Adelaide Oval, with Australia and England doing battle in a 2020 clash. Corey Norris is down at the ground, and Corey, we look set for some real entertainment tonight.
Yeah, spot on, Kim. Around about 30,000 people are expected to flock through the gates, and as you can see behind me, most of those are already here. And of course, they're here to see Australia hopefully atone for their Ashes disappointment with a win over England tonight. Now, I caught up with both camps a little earlier this afternoon, and it's fair to say this game tonight means a lot more than just a bit of fun.
Hello again to Football First, and the Power have hit the training track preparing for Saturday night's Showdown 30. Corey Norris is down at AAMI Stadium for the closed training session, and Corey, the heat is really on for positions in the side. It
certainly is, Kim. Matthew Primer's very keen to find a winning formula. There's expectations that Stephen Salopek, Jacob Surgeon and Brett Hebert will all fight their way back into the side, which of course means plenty of pressure on some out-of-form stars such as Daniel Pearce and David Roden. Well, over at the Crows, Jason Porplegia has begun a very long road to recovery after a shoulder reconstruction. He spent a fair bit of time at the Women's and Children's Hospital this morning, meeting and greeting some of his youngest fans down there, and says he hasn't given up hope of playing again this season.
Hello again to Football First, and the Crows are about half an hour away from hitting the training track ahead of Saturday night's big clash with Hawthorn. Corey Norris is at AAMI Stadium, and Corey, have the Crows settled on their first ever substitute?
Well, they're certainly getting closer, Kim. Neil Craig said today that Andy Otten and Scott Stevens were two players he felt were ideally suited to the role. But as Mark Bickley, the assistant coach, told me a little earlier this afternoon, it's a decision still being hotly debated.
To sport, and Corey Norris is at the Tour Down Under Village in Victoria Square, and it's not long now, Corey.
Spot on, Rob. 133 of the world's best riders start racing on Sunday as the eyes of the cycling world turn to Adelaide. We'll chat live to last year's champion after the break, plus all the highlights of the third test as our skipper shows the way.
To sport now, Corey Norris is in the East End. Corey, it's been a thrilling start to the Tour Down Under.
Yes, George, this afternoon's street sprint certainly didn't disappoint. I'm now joined by race director Mike Turter. And Mike, what a fantastic turnout for what really is an entree for the week ahead.
Yeah, it's a great race down here at the East End.
NFL 10 league directors at a meeting at AAMI Stadium tonight. Corey Norris is down there, and Corey, has there been a decision yet?
Still no word yet, Kim, but as you can see behind me, plenty of die-hard Magpies fans, they're outraged that their 8 rival clubs could effectively end the proud history of one of the greatest or most successful clubs in the land. Now, I'm joined by Magpie great and, of course, former coach Tim Ginniver. Tim, where to tomorrow? Because if the merger vote doesn't get up tonight, what is plan B?
Yeah, well, the difficult things, and I'm sure Tomo and the rest of the guys believe that.
Now, Kim, the boys will be back out on the training track 10 a.m. on Thursday morning before flying out to Melbourne.
Thanks, Corey. Corey Norris live from West Lakes there.
Corey Norris is down at AAMI Stadium ahead of the big clash. And Corey, are the Power any chance of an upset tonight?
Well, Troy, as you know, there's been a bit of rain around this afternoon and we can expect a shower or two throughout tonight's match. Now, Port Adelaide, they beat North Melbourne only a couple of weeks ago in horrible conditions, and given that St Kilda play a lot of their football in dry conditions under the roof of Etihad Stadium, the odds may be swinging back in Port's favour. Well, to shed more light on this, I'm joined by Power assistant Adam Kingsley. Adam, in these conditions, contested footy becomes pretty important.
Oh, it certainly does. You know, obviously the ball's going to be on the ground a bit and
into turmoil.
Did your father sack Chris Lucas because he wasn't giving you game time?
No, check the box scores, no comment.
An all too familiar sight. Trent Henschel arrives at hospital for his 4th operation in 3 years.
How disappointing is it, mate?
Oh, no, I think we'll know more tomorrow anyway, so it won't be too bad, I don't think. Just go in there and see what surgeon sees, so it won't be too bad.
You're pretty confident you can get back?
Yeah, definitely. Yep, no, shouldn't be too major at all.
Henschel was the latter appears to be Neil Craig's favoured option, with the Crows reluctant to unsettle a winning combination.
It's not just about Nathan, just coming into the side, Corey. I mean, it has implications about what else happens.
Despite Adelaide's injury-interrupted pre-season, Port Pleasure insists it won't force them to re-evaluate their September goal to finish in the top 4 and make a charge for the ultimate prize. The ultimate inner sanctum experience. This space is known as the Shed, where players will warm up before matches and train during the week, but it also doubles as a giant function room, holding up to 3,000 people.